I want to welcome every one of you to the 5th annual Intolerista Wingding. And if you haven't been here before, you're going to have an experience the likes of which you've never had before. And if you have been here before, you know what I'm talking about. This little event stars Jeannie McHale and Roy Zimmerman, and we are so lucky to have both of them here tonight, and they are going to entertain us just as soon as I get around to introducing them. I want to thank the caterer of Blues, Brews, and Barbecues, and if you are hungry, you're open the whole night, so go ahead and get food and drink whenever you want to. I want to say anybody who brought food for Sojourners Alliance, I think there's a little, right back here. So be sure to deposit that food in there for tonight. Oh, I know. I usually begin this gathering with some sort of a political statement that I hope is relevant and to the point. But instead of doing that tonight, I'm going to read a poem. I thought a poem would be more in line with a cultural event than something coming from me. And I have found a poem to read to you tonight. And I think you will like it, but if you don't, I don't care. The title of this poem is Adieu, Michelle Bachmann, and it's written by Calvin Trill. If you read The Nation magazine, you know who he is. This is the poem. Gigantic tears in our eyes now well, as we prepare to say farewell, Michelle. We pliers of the small joke trade are grieving. I bet Roy is too, and so is you. We so regret to hear that you are leaving. Oh, sure. We often manage to make merry with gaffes by Sarah Palin and by Perry. And Kane was grand. With Trump, we had a ball. But you, Michelle, were weirdest and wackiest of all. There are two people here tonight who never want to be introduced, and I want to tell them now that as long as I'm the master of ceremonies, they will be introduced whether they like it or not. Rodna and Tom Hansen. Together for us every year, and every year it gets better. So thank you so very, very much. Rodna and Tom bring us good humor, music, and it all began with the idea that this needed to be an annual event, the Intolerista Wingding. And people ask me, what is that Intolerista piece? So I'm going to tell you what it is. Some years ago, a local pastor began challenging certain folks in this community, and he called them Intoleristas, for their response to his vision to turn Moscow into a haven for others who shared his narrow view of biblical scripture. The Intoleristas adopted the name with their own vision applied to it. They were among the citizens of Moscow who refused to embrace misogyny, racism, revisionist history, who welcomed those who support human rights for all our citizens, regardless of their religious views or lack thereof. And so we celebrate. And tonight I would ask, how many of you, is there anyone here who was one of the original group of Intoleristas? There. Good people are. And with all of those who are good Intoleristas, please raise your hands. Thank you, folks. You are what makes Moscow the place we want to live if we have to live in Idaho. And we do. song she ever wrote was she was about 7 or 8 years old, and the title of the song was, "I'm an Old Gray Lady." And you weren't then.
I am now.
Aha! She was in her basement roller skating when she wrote that song. She plays with a number of groups. She's continued her life of music. She plays with the Snake River Six, which is the oldest jazz band this side of the Mississippi River. She's a founding member of the Moscow Volunteer Peace Band. And this is her quote. "Fritz is the ersatz leader." You're going to have to explain that sometime. And she recently became part of a new Moscow blues rock band with the catchy name of Henry C. and the Willers. She's going to be telling you about a special dedication, and she's going to make music you will enjoy. So welcome our own treasure, Jeannie McHale, and I thank the members of all of her groups who are here tonight. We are going to have a good time. Thank you, folks.